Oh, mercy! You are listening to the SurgeCast on whatever podcasting network you download this stuff on.
A part of the Hockey Podcast Network.
Canes fans, you're listening to SurgeCast, the second best podcast out there.
Follow us on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Now, let's get into the episode. Welcome in, everyone, to a very special edition of the SurgeCast. Kat and I just got back from the Lenovo Center where we had a sit-down with Carolina Hurricanes president Doug Warf. We were able to talk with Doug about his first year as Canes president. We went through the design of the new Canes road uniform. We got some more updates on the renovations going on at the Lenovo Center. And Doug threw in some teasers for us that are coming up throughout the season. So make sure y'all stay for the entire episode. But now let's get into it. Our one-on-one sit-down with Carolina Hurricanes president and friend of the program, Doug Warf.
You might be noticing, but we're in person, so we're a little bit different. And while you probably heard him talking with Zach on another podcast, me and the paid intern / producer are very excited to actually have Doug Warf with us in person, or us in person with him, because we get to be here. But how are you doing today, Doug?
I'm great. Thank you for coming to my office. You guys made this easy.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome.
You guys just want to work here. That's fine. So just hang out.
I've tried a few times. That's fine. We'll stick with this role. It makes it a lot easier.
I missed the paid intern joke. Is it?
Oh, yeah. For a while, he was just our unpaid intern.
Oh, unpaid intern.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was our unpaid intern, but now every now and then we get a little bit of money. He's earned us some money with his pushing on social media. So
Well done.
He's
Downloads
slightly
and all the
paid.
likes.
Okay.
Download, like, subscribe, so I can keep getting paid.
Yeah, go do that.
I
Yeah.
guess.
So I can keep getting paid. We heard it. That's why I'm paid, but not paid a lot for reasons like this. Because
For
we're
reasons
too
like
like
this microphone right here.
Marginally paid intern. It's better than unpaid intern. That's how
Right.
I started here. It was an unpaid intern. It was tough.
Hey, but look at you now.
I have a whole office.
I mean, if you start as
Nice
unpaid and make it up to here, it's kind of worth it.
Yes. Sure. I don't know if the gray hair agrees with you, but yeah.
Well, I mean, he's got it already, and he's the paid intern, so. Well, to get started on talking about, saying where you're coming from as an unpaid intern, but now it's been your first year as president. How is that? How have things gone? What surprised you? Good, bad, ugly?
It's been great. Like, it's been an exciting year. July 8th was my start. I still remember it well. And as I walked down this long hall, I remember getting stopped twice on the way down of things that, like, people were like, "Hey, glad to have you back. This is kind of on fire." And there were some pretty big things that we were trying to navigate then. We were finalizing the Lenovo Center deal. Our TV partner was coming out of bankruptcy. We had a handful of corporate partnership deals that we were trying to get across the finish line. So it's just a lot going on then. And it was a fun time to come in and kind of get that stuff settled, change over the building, get a lot of the TV stuff straightened out, get a lot of the partnership pieces straightened out, continue a sellout streak. I think day 2 or day 3 of me coming back is when Eric Stahl announced retirement, and then we said we would retire his number. So like that started a whole process. But it's been, I wouldn't want to have it any other way. It's been fun and exciting. And oh, by the way, a very large construction project internally, development outside, idea of Major League Baseball, et al. So
They
it's
really
been fun.
just threw you in. Like, good luck. No shallow end for you. Just like straight into the deep end with everything going on.
I don't even think it's a deep end. I don't think it's a pool. I think I'm in the middle of the ocean. But it's been fun. Pool would mean there's like walls that you could get to and feel safety.
Just an occasional flotation device.
Yeah, like a big ship goes by occasionally, and we're like, "No, we're good. We're good. Let's keep rolling." So, no, it's been a very fun year, and the team here, we've got a really great team off the ice, and that's what makes it all possible. Is the people I get to work with, some really solid people.
Yeah, we talked about for a little bit, because like we talk about, obviously we had like free agency trades, and like a reminder of like previous times, like when Tulski came in, how much that transition was. And like, again, you brought to light, like it was a big transition for everyone. Cause again, you had things with like Valley, you had PNC and Lenovo, you had all the construction. There was a lot going on, and it wasn't just like a casual change in leadership. Like it was a big overhaul. And I think I mean, for me personally, you guys handled that so much more smoothly than I would have anticipated, because again, like you're looking maybe when you're in like a regular job like us, you're like, all right, someone leaves, we get someone to fill the role, and it's like, oh, a whole bunch of people left, and like we got to figure out who's steering the ship. And honestly, this first year, I think you've done a fantastic job.
Thank you.
For as much weight as I hold, I think
you
he's done
can
a
stay
great
in my
job.
office now. Thank you.
It's good to know that even presidents deal with this too, because at times you'll come into your job lower level, be like, this sucks, but this person left, so I have to handle it. Top dogs have to deal with it as well, so no one is immune to it.
And just if Mike Foreman's watching, you leaving didn't help much either, Mike. No, I totally kid. But there were pieces outside of just Don's departure that were also different for the staff and different for a lot of people who've been here for a while. So I appreciate them. They allowed Brian and I to come in and kind of start a new path. But Don had a really good foundation, so it wasn't too hard.
Yeah. And Mike Foreman and our friend Dan LaTaraka also was like, we were like, hey, come jump and talk with us again. He goes, just FYI, I might be leaving soon, so I can't. And we were like, oh, and then we had all the other news, and we're like, oh, everyone's gone. Okay, but we have a team. That's great. We're good. But again, that allowed us to get to see what you guys could do. And Dan
at least worked with me for a little bit before he left. Mike didn't even allow me to come in on a first day.
He said, no, I'm done.
Yeah. And he was in my old office. Like there were some memories there. It was tough.
Yeah, he thought maybe, if he comes back, maybe he'll want his old office. So I might as well just leave.
Yeah, maybe that was in there.
But so with all of that going on, has there been any it's been a lot, but have there been any things where it was like a challenge, but you're like, right now it just feels like you were like, I don't know how we're going to pull this off, but it really like came together, and you're like, I mean, there's so many things to be proud of, but is there anything that sticks out in your mind a little bit more?
I would give, there's a lot of that. But
so much to choose from.
I think that anytime you change the naming rights for your arena, like that's a couple of thousand logos that need to change. It's a really big deal. You even think about like all the places that you have items out in the community that had said PNC Arena. Our job is to change all of those.
Street signs too.
Oh, do you work for Lenovo? The North Carolina Department of Transportation oversees those. They've had a strong challenge with what happened in the Western North Carolina, so we've been very understanding. Those have been the last pieces, but everything that we control, we changed in the matter of 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and to do that, the deal wasn't announced until September 19th. I think we had 2 weeks to get ready for opening night. We had it done before then. You can't get started on it early because we hadn't announced it. So September 19th is an unveiling. So then it's kind of like go time from that. Mm-hmm. And that's actually almost like a 1 year anniversary to the start of the season. So it was a hectic time. In addition to your point, new GM, we had a lot of new players. There was a lot that we were trying to get acclimated to the area and the team. It was just it was a fun feat to pull off.
Yeah, speaking of a year ago, I think that's when we did the Canes 5K. And when we rolled in, you guys did have a lot of the stuff changed. We're like, even the cones say Lenovo already. And we were like, wow, look at the turnover. That's great. So, speaking of...
It's a lot of cones.
It was a lot of cones.
Yeah.
If anyone managed to grab a PNC cone, you have a piece of history there now.
No comment.
Don't grab anymore.
Don't grab any more.
Please don't. We need them.
But speaking of new things, now that we're a year in, we've also got something new in the new uniform. I know that's been the big buzz going around. We talked a little bit about it with Mike and Shane on their feels for it. But yeah, so I know kind of, we've talked with you some and talked about why this design, and why do you feel the Stadium Series logo is so kind of beloved by fans?
Yeah, so I didn't even mention that. Kind of shows you where the start of the season was when I came in, because this was, I think, week 2 of me on the job of trying to get this across the finish line, because this was finalized last July, so shortly after I came in, and then pushed through. One, I love the Stadium Series. Mm-hmm. This shirt we sold in the store last year, so I think if you look back on things, there were a lot of things that might have been hat tips or little
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs, if you look back. I think this logo is one that our team, including Tom Dunn, didn't really like from a standpoint of It's a slightly different take on our primary logo.
Mhm.
I like the way it pops off the white. And then we felt the same with kind of the Strut and Stormy. This is a popular mark that I think everybody inside our organization has loved. And it's been interesting. We've been trying to find a way to work it into the uniform set. And I like it. I think, if you talk to Tom, it's one of those where he always wants to push the envelope. I don't think he even thought this was taking it too far. And then, some people in the league think that this is wild that we have quote unquote a mascot on our shoulder. So, I think we like to push edges and try to find those boundaries. And I think this uniform set tried to do that.
I do think the Strut and Stormy, it kind of ties into the football, the college
Totally.
feel to it. So like, I guess it doesn't make sense around the league because that's not really their tie. Like here, I mean, we've got like the Wolfpack Stadium's like right there, and like everyone understands like it really is a big college town, and that's where we draw from a lot. So I think that's another reason why everyone loves him, because he's not, and he's not an allegiant to one school or another. He's the Canes.
Completely. And, I've said this before, but you've got, NC State, UNC, Duke, ECU. They all have kind of a mascot look mark like this. And so I thought it was great. Actually, Dan was the idea behind it. I found a great artist who created this. I bought 2 of these T-shirts when I was a fan. And it's one of those things that no matter where you wear it, people are like, oh, that's cool. What is that? And I think you gravitate towards that. And I think when you do some of these things, it's like music. If you play country, some people are like, oh, that's my favorite, and you nailed it. So you're like, I hate country. It is the worst.
Yep.
And those people might live together, right? So like it's always just a fun combo.
Last question on that too.
Can you guys figure out your mic situation
here?
No.
He wants.
Well, I would like to say something, but it's her show.
No, okay. My last question before we really should have had 3 mics.
Marginally paid intern.
When he becomes a better paid intern, we'll have 3 mics.
Okay.
Last question, and I don't know if this is something that's considered too. I know with this one, a lot with the previous jerseys, we had the like kind of storm, like the flags on it a little bit more dominantly. I know we have it kind of on the like C of the captain, but was there any thought to it not being on like the bottom, or like a little bit less focus, or was it just kind of just because the Stadium Series didn't have it as much?
Yeah, I think it was more of the way that this almost became. We kept trying to play with different elements, and we looked at a couple of those pieces, but it kept coming back towards, okay, what about just a true inverse of the Stadium Series, so that there's this kind of cool tie to your point earlier, local college, local football climate with tailgating, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. And I think, if you ask Tom down, I think there's a thought of trying to have 3 different sets. So like you kind of have a red jersey currently that has that in it. You kind of have different looks. It's muted, it's more pronounced in some. And I think this one is a 3rd set that can stand on its own.
Yeah. I mean, in person, I do highly recommend everyone to go to the store and see it in person, because in person, everything really pops.
So are you saying that before you weren't sure?
No, I liked it already. I was just saying in person, like, everyone's going to judge by pictures on the internet. Yeah. But in person, I'd like it even more.
No, I am dead wrong. I told you before when I saw you outside of the podcast, I was iffy on them. Seeing them in person, they're a lot better than the pictures show.
So I just have to one by one get people into my office and show it to them in person.
Yes, your office
and convert
specifically.
Them. Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, get into the pro shop, see them. They're looking great. If you're able to hit a road game, they're going to look great on the guys there too. So I was certainly wrong on that.
I will say this, and I won't call out Rod for this, but maybe Rod said this to me. Even before he even saw it, he's like, "Why do we have to change?" And I was like, "Well, it's been 6 years," and he was like, said a couple other things, and he was like, "You know what? I didn't like the other ones when they came out either." He's like, I think it's just change. And I think that's that way for a lot of people. Change is different. And so then you kind of get used to it. And then in a handful of years, maybe you're a staunch defender if you aren't today. But the cool thing is this jersey has sold really well. And if you haven't been to the Carolina Pro Shop, I think some of the supporting merch, I think is some of my favorite merch that we've put out. A lot of the white and cream shirts and stuff with the red and black logos. It looks clean. You can wear it to work. Like it's more versatile, which is kind of cool.
So, question for you: Rod tells you how to do your job. Sometimes you ever tell Rod how to do
Not,
his job?
not a chance.
I would love to see how that goes.
Have you seen Rod? No way.
Quite a large man.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I'll reiterate when we talked about this a little bit on the previous episode, but it's the change aspect of it, because like I said, for a while we had those red jerseys and everyone was like, okay, we're good, we like those, and then everyone was like, okay, something new, and we changed it up. We got those blacks thrown in there, and everyone loved the black ones, and we're like, oh, we're gonna go with these more, and everyone's like, no, we want the reds back, and it's like, you just love these until we said we're gonna do it more, and then we bring in the whites, the old whites, and you get who did the diagonal first.
Well,
and then
only one team apparently can do that. So.
And then don't tell Utah that, because I think they're the most recent ones that are like the babies, and they're copying. How dare they? But yeah, and then of course this is gonna come, and it's just funny because of course Rod's like, oh, we gotta change, and it's like it goes through everyone gets attached to one or another, and you're just like, all right, we'll just give it time. I know, like, and it's never going to be what everyone wants because everyone has so many different opinions, but I do like the inspiration behind this one. I'm excited to see it again in person. Highly recommend. Can't wait to see it on the guys in person. And then we have a couple of preseason games coming up that everyone, especially the community game, that everyone can probably go see this in person in the store.
Thank you for plugging the community game.
We're going to be there, so I got to plug it.
We'll be there. Go see Anthony, section 121. Anthony's the best.
He is great.
Every time I see you, I'm going to let you know because he is the best.
Yeah, you guys, I think Anthony's on the payroll.
We ride or die for Anthony. And unfortunately,
he is on the payroll. It hurts our payroll.
Yeah, no, our wallets hurt because of him, but it's worth it every single time. He puts a smile on our face every time.
That's great.
But speaking of Anthony, where he works, eventually you're going to tear down that part of the arena. Right now, you're renovating 300 level main portion of the arena floor itself.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Doug, for phase one. What's taking place now? What should fans expect for the season opener, October 9th, and what things will kind of continue throughout the season?
Well, the good part about where we were is we played into the Eastern Conference Finals, so we played into June. The challenging part is that meant construction couldn't start until kind of the end of June, start of July. On the fan-facing side, so we'd actually started construction February, March, on some of the support work we needed to do on the arena level. So blowing out sections and seats in the 300 level to put in the new view bar, that couldn't start till the end of June. So they've made a lot of progress, but you're still going to see a big tarp when you come in on October 9th over that area as they're still kind of working through everything. But the 300 level is getting really the first makeover it's had in 25, 26 years. So obvious paint and touch-ups there, but more women's restrooms are being added. 2 new concessions are coming up, and it's going to be interesting because there will be a stretch where our nicest stuff is on the 300 level until we start to redo the main level. 2 huge concession areas that are kind of walk in, likely scan card, grab what you want and go. So again, speed of service, speed of use being focal points, but also variety. The one that we have on the south end of the main con is our most visited and used concession stand. So think of that with hot foods and bigger, 2 different places on the 300 level. So that won't be there opening night, but it'll be there some point in the early season.
It might be a Christmas present for Katie.
Yeah, when you guys leave, I've got to go back and do more jackhammering and put my hard hat back on. But it has been a fun project. So I think excited to see what's happening at 300 level. And then on the arena level, we've talked a lot about the new Lenovo Legend Club, be the highest end club that we have in the building. The 6 bunker suites really transforms that area. What I'm excited about there, we've never had fans down on game day in that area. So where the Legend Club and where the bunker suites are in between our locker room and the visiting team locker room. So you'll be in the action. Your seats are on the glass. I can't wait to get those spaces open, but my hard hat is still in use on those spaces too.
A man of many hats, and the hard hat is currently still being used.
The cool thing is, though, it has my name on it. Means you're official, and it has my safety vest inside, so it's always ready.
A couple smudges. It's been used. Doug's been going to work.
Yeah. Game used hard hat.
I think Doug's going to need to wear that and sound the siren for when they're finally completed. on that day when they're open and you're like, all right, I can take my hat off and sound the siren. It's open for business.
Yes, there will be some bourbon cheers that night. We're all going to be pretty excited about that. But the fun part is, and what's, we get to sit through these meetings every week. This is the first of essentially 3 phases. So the next 3 off seasons, we'll see some very major renovations to the building. And I'm sitting in an interesting seat right now where I can see what it's going to look like. And it's a totally transformed building, which really brings us into the modern era. And I think there's a lot, the next 2 phases that fans will see. A lot of the work today is kind of support work. When you get to the main con, club level, and then the exterior of the building, it's some pretty transformative stuff.
Football is back, and so is your shot at big wins. With DraftKings Pick 6, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL, your game day instincts can score you real money fast. Here's the play. Just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats, from breakout rookies to elite QBs, and unlock the upside every snap brings. The better your calls, the bigger your payout. Taking a look at some picks this weekend, more or less for Justin Jefferson, 70.5 receiving yards. More or less than 68.5 receiving yards for Jamar Chase, and plenty more options out there for you to choose. And here's the kickoff bonus. New DraftKings customers get $50 in bonus bets with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. This season, play your player instincts. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN. Play just $5, get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-97777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. Shoot the damn puck is something I've said, you've said, we've all said it at some point, and now y'all can rock it. Make sure y'all go ahead and visit our store, thesurgecast.myshopify.com, to go get you the hat. This is the rope hat design right here. We also have the dad hat offering too. So go ahead and rock it. I know you're going to say it. You know I'm going to say it. Shoot the damn puck. So make sure you're rocking that merch this season. Making sure you're visiting the surgecast.myshopify.com to get your shoot the damn puck hat.
So that's what's going on inside. The parking lot outside right now is tame, but based on Brian's press conference a couple months ago, you mentioned that you guys are going to start tearing this up whenever the Wolfpack season ends. Is that still kind of on plan to happen, and what will that timeline look like to get the tailgating spaces up and going?
I think sometime shortly thereafter, kind of the early springtime, my office, Brian's office is next to mine. We have like the perfect look out to what will be a construction area. So this east parking lot, southeast parking lot, you've got the 2 decks going in first. You've got a roughly 4,200 seat music venue that'll be co-partnered with Live Nation, and then another sports bar-esque building that are going to be the first things that are underway. So shortly after the Wolfpack football season ends, you'll see the parking lots kind of start to go under transformation. We do think that'll be after February. So we did bring back Premier Parking for a lot of the season ticket members who had Premier Parking up through the Olympic break. That was something we keep kind of pivoting on it. And what I'll give our fans a lot of credit to, there's been a lot of people who understand that there's a lot of this, as we keep saying, we're building the airplane as we fly it, that allow us to come back and say, hey, we think we can do this now. And they say, sounds great. We'd love to have that. So
I'm excited for it and the entire transformation. I'm sure you're both excited and stressed at times about it. But I think long term, what you mentioned the first time you were on the pod, you go to your places, Nashville's, Columbus, you name it, that everyth's right there. That's what you guys want to make this in the long term.
Well, think about too where we sit in the triangle. It is perfectly positioned that if you looked out here and you see a Live Nation venue, you've got NC State football, you've got NC State basketball, you got the Canes. Then you're going to put a nice high-end hotel, mixed-use retail, apartments, etc., a huge office complex in the back. this area totally transforms, and it's right off of 40. So you're right at an intersection, kind of the center of our state. I think this becomes a place that you look at as a North Carolina hub more than just even a Triangle hub. And I think that's what excites me. That long-term vision is cool.
They're gonna have to run some light rails around here. Everyone's gonna want to come here and get as close and easy access as possible.
Man, that is for you guys to decide. I'm not.
Cats with the DOT apparently.
No, I'm just saying. No, these are just
Dear
thoughts.
DOT, can you take care of our signs first, please?
Hey, I don't have a problem with them. I know where I'm going. For years of seeing. Listen, I remember with the change from RBC to PNC and now Lenovo, so I'm so used to they're all leading me to the same place. I don't need to plug in directions.
At three-letter acronyms for a while. ESA, RBC, PNC. Lenovo really changed it up, which is good.
Your nickname, the Lenny, outstanding. Quick question for you though: where'd you come up with that? Was that off the top of your head, or someone else gave that to you?
No, so other people have said it, and Lenovo has been really fun to work with. I think they like that people want to make nicknames out of it. There are some groups that don't want to. They want to make sure it's their name. They paid for their branding. But Lenovo's got a fun leadership group, and they're like, oh, the Lenny, yeah, that's great. I think Linson was another one that was kind of popular for a bit. I think they preferred Lenny, but it's fun.
Linson didn't really shorten it. The whole Lenny's fun.
Lenny's
the best.
Lenny's good.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see all the different changes. Again, some of the changes in here where we're sitting, I'm mostly just going to be watching and seeing all the different changes. It doesn't impact, but when this construction out here, that's where we typically park. So that one is where I'm going to be like, all right, we're really in the thick of it. I'm ready to see what they do here. Because again, I love being here, and I know all the fans love being here. And it's, again, with all these changes, we're still going to be the loudest house in the NHL. Nothing's going to change about that. We're still going to come out, support the boys, but get a little bit more respect around the league. Be like, hey, all right, we're gonna step up. We've already stepped up with how we play. We stepped up with where we are in the standings every year, but we're gonna step up the amenities as well for our fans, because that's what you guys are all about. Is really, again, the community.
Well, and I think there's part of that too, where we want to represent the region. And I kind of joked about it before, but when visiting teams would fly in early on, if you fly in at RDU, if you stay at the Umstead and you come to the rink, you see two exits, right? You see a lot of pine trees. I'd always get this response from people like, Raleigh's so green. And you're like, well, one, that's great, right? We love that Raleigh is so green. But I think the balance, I think that's what we all think of Raleigh and the Triangle about is it has big city amenities. It has a small town feel, right? I think that's the draw for a lot of people. And I think we have to make sure everybody sees the big city amenities, because if you just went RDU, Umstead here, you're like, I saw more cows than buildings.
You're like, was it an insult when you told me it's so green?
Well, that was their nice way. When you dug in, that line that I just
Southern
said.
Hockey, it's so green here. You guys, you know what buildings are.
The line of I saw more cows than buildings has been told to me more than one time by opposing fans. And listen, again, that's not a knock, but I think the beauty of what will happen here is that you kind of have that blend of the tailgating and the parking lots and everything that will stay, and it's because we're building more surface lots too. That stays, but you get a blend with restaurants, bars, kind of a nightlife post-game vibe as well.
How has it been working? So you say working with Lenovo. How's it been working with NC State as well? Because they're getting kind of a revamp with that. They get kind of that added on. Is all right, this is our building. This is where our football stadium's right there, but all this other stuff is coming around us. How's it been working with them? Your alma mater. They've
been fantastic partners. Every week we have a meeting where we go through updates as to what's going on in the building. And so, their leadership team, our leadership team, Centennial Authority, there's kind of a group that we meet on a very regular basis. And NC State's been fantastic. I think they're in a similar spot where their game has changed a bit and they need to find new revenue streams as well. So I think it matters as much to them as it does to us, but they've been fantastic partners.
Awesome. Well, I know we covered all the. Was it that?
You got it.
Yeah.
Got your ears up.
No, mine was always the LU. I guess it's backwards. However people are saying it.
Chirp, chirp, Ball State.
Okay.
We suck.
You guys, I mean, I like that you have signs. That
Well, I'm
Liberty
sorry,
and
I
Ball
did-
State have signs.
Yeah. Sorry, we did beat the Ice Pack in hockey recently,
Oh,
but
okay.
We're guests.
I apologize before I said it. So we did talk about all the hot topics that all the fans have been kind of thinking about between the jersey, with all the renovations, the construction. But we want to know, is there anything else you'd like to tease to Caniacs to get them even more pumped about this? Anything you can say? New Lenovo Center offerings? Any promotions you're excited about?
Oh man, I think that's a good one. I think your key is what can I say? Right.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna wear the white jersey at home a couple times, so I think you'll see that get announced soon. That we'll have 2 games where you can see this at home. I think we're always looking at our concessions. So I think there's a new self-driven concept that could be really cool. That focuses more on kind of like a chicken-based chicken tender setup.
Okay.
That I think people will really like when we launch it. So that'll be kind of fun. We've been working on recipes. We've kind of had a little bit of a revamp on some of our food and beverage leadership team, and they've come in and really brought some really creative ideas. I don't know if you guys follow what we've been doing for concerts, but every concert now has had like themed drinks.
Oh, really?
And they've been doing this killer job of like making really cool themed.
We've been saving our
drinks.
money for the games.
Yeah.
But what kind of themed drinks do they have?
Man, I need to put me on the spot. Like,
We should have had Anthony.
yeah, Anthony would nail this. But like Disney Descendants had like this really cool drink that you drop some sparkle stuff in and swirl it around.
Oh, okay.
And then, all the other ones, I can't remember which bands lined up to which things, but ideas off of songs or things that make it fun and kind of unique, and usually might have some unique packaging. So we're always trying to find new things. I think to that same extent, we've had the beer stick and the popcorn Zambonis. I think you might see another entry there as well. So just always try to have fun with things. And then I'm excited about, as I wax poetic on a bunch of stuff, the Stanley Cup will make an appearance back at our games in early December. That'll be kind of fun. So,
Are you gonna touch it?
well, I was on a team that won it, so I do have a ring,
Okay,
so that
okay.
allows you to touch it.
Is that ring
What-
here?
No, I don't.
Oh.
Do you think Rod would touch it?
It's a good question. I think he would. Once your name is on it. So the way it
Okay.
works is once your name goes on it, or you've been on a team that wins it, you're quote
touch
unquote
it.
allowed
Okay.
to touch it. It really aligns with players, and I don't see myself making the ice anytime soon. So I don't know if the superstition would transfer to me, but I feel like since it was part of the 06 staff, I feel like I can. I don't know if I will.
Okay.
Yeah. Good
That's
question.
fair. I remember it made an appearance. I think I was walking around downtown, and me and Bailey saw it at one point, and she went and I was like, "Don't you dare touch that thing!" I said, "I will not take any of this on me, depending on how it goes."
But like, do you feel like then you can't win it?
No, I don't know what it is. It's the one suit. Like, I mean, listen, every little thing I do really helps the guys on the ice. I understand that. So, like, if we're winning and I'm wearing a certain jersey or certain outfit that game, I've got to wear the next one. So the same thing. I just I can't touch that cup until it's like here and I've like witnessed it. I don't want to. Like, I know 06, but like I
So
just
not
feel
in
so
your-
much
in
more
your
presence.
fandom.
Yeah, like I was like around it, but I just I feel like I'm contributing more now.
Okay.
So I want to
Listen,
feel like I contributed to that.
I
cup.
appreciate that. I think that's
Just
great.
wearing the same jersey every time is.
So I'll
all
tell
I
you
can
a
do,
funny
but-
side story that I've gone well past because I have weird superstitions, or as the guys like to call them, traditions.
Mhm.
I used to wear one pair of socks in the 06 run,
Mhm.
and I forgot them one day and was like freaking out. And one of our assistant coaches saw me and was like, "What are you like running around for?" I was like, "I got to go home and get my socks." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I've been wearing this certain pair of socks." And he calmly said, "Do you think the guys know?" And I said, "No, I don't think the guys know." And he's like, "Then I think we're going to be okay, Doug." And it just crushed me, Went and got the socks, and we won the Stanley Cup. So I'm not saying the two are linked, but you got to do it.
To quote the old Bud Light commercial, it's only weird if it doesn't work.
Exactly. Well, I was gonna say, yeah,
And
it's
that's a
not
fact.
crazy unless it doesn't work. But
I will say I've grown a beard for each of the playoffs since 06, and we haven't. So this year, I think I'll be staying clean
You
shaven.
going clean shaven for
You
it?
still have those
Yeah.
socks?
I do. I
Okay.
do.
There you go. That's,
I don't know if
that's
you
the
can tap
magic.
back into it. It's a tough one. Like I think they.
Are they framed?
They probably should not be in circulation.
That's
It's a
where-
hot summer, so
That's where the ring's in.
Yeah,
It's in those socks.
Yeah.
You're tucked
in
in the
those
socks.
socks.
Well, I can't tell people in case they.
Just kidding. The socks and the ring are nowhere near each other.
Correct.
Yeah, no, I'm that's very exciting. I'm excited for when it comes back here because it just, I don't know. I just feel like we're so close to being there, and I think the league is really starting to also take respect. Like again, there's like big players going on around the league that they're like, who's got interest in them, who could really make a run at this, and those big players are also taking an interest in us because they're like, this team is, they're like right there, and it's like, would you rather make good money and playing for the Canes that are like right there, or would you rather make good money and be on a team that's like a ways away from being at this like Stanley Cup level?
I think. I mean, I think it's funny sometimes too. The trades you see someone say we're going to make. I do enjoy chuckling at those, but I love the fact that we're included because, to your point, for the first 20 years of our franchise, we were hoping to get mentioned on like mid-level wingers. Not the top folks.
Yeah.
Getting Ehlers this offseason, but now that there are different trade things popping up and our names keep coming in, you only do that if someone is good, relevant, and trying to make a run. And we've been there for a while. And I think if you look, as the Athletic just showed again, our window is still wide open. I think that's what's most exciting to me is that after you've made the playoffs for 7 straight years, a lot of times you think, okay, the window's closing, but kudos to Don Waddell, to Eric Tulsky, to Tom, to anybody involved. This team is on the precipice of really window still wide open.
Yeah, with we got so much young talent and even some like veteran presence, and we've got them locked in for such a good amount of time, and we're still like we've managed our cap so well. And not only that, you're like, okay, well, here's a really young team. They've got all this talent on it, but then our coach is a big draw, and like where we're located too, we got a lot of trees, but like hockey players like that.
Hockey players love it here, and I the reason they love it here, a lot of times our fans are fantastic, and our fans are the right blend of love the Canes but also respect the guys so they can live fairly normal lives here, and this is a great place to live. You're 2 hours from the mountains, 2 hours from the coast. You get a little taste of all 4 seasons, right? But not too much of the winter one. And it's just, it's a vibrant, growing place, good education, good hospitals. You kind of go down the list. We are in a very, very special place. And our guys love it. I mean, it's across the board.
Yeah. I mean, one really embracing it is we attended the Marty party with you. And that is just, I feel like that's just a showcase for it. Is like, that's just he's such a beloved player, and like all of the community was there. You could see just wide ranges of like some families, young fans like us, some older fans that clearly they were part of the 2006 win. And it was just like he was one of us, and everyone was like so on, like that's one of our players, but also he's one of us. He's doing an event for us, singing on stage. It was great, and that's what I really love is that the team is like the community embraces them and they embrace the community. So
I think you said that well. I think it's rare that you see a player do what Jordan did there, right? Where they host. We didn't tell him to do that, and we don't help plan it. And so he's like, "Hey, I'm going to do this thing," and I think he was surprised I was there. Like I was like, "Hey, Jordan," he's like, "Oh man, you came out." I'm like, "Yeah, it's really cool you do this," and it serves as a really cool kickoff to the season. But to your point, it's like a nice partnership with the fans and the players, and I think they feel that mutual respect and admiration. They really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, that is all the hard-hitting questions we have for you.
You guys didn't hit too hard. That's good.
Unless you have any other fun stories you want to share. But those were our hard-hitting questions for you.
I don't think I'm going to get in trouble where we are right now, so it's probably better for me just
probably
to stop.
a good time to wrap up.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks so much for having us in your office, getting to talk about all of these upcoming things. I'm counting down the date. I think we're at 22 days until the season starts. I think the last thing I saw,
Well, I never know when you air these things, so I get nervous on saying that. But as we
I'm the one who's going to be wrong, so you don't have to worry.
Tomorrow will be 21.
Yes.
Okay, we're at the it's so ingrained in me to say need a right or number of days, and that's wrong. It's 21 now is
Nikishin.
Listen, I was engraved for it a while.
I wasn't jumping in that conversation.
No. So. It's even weird for me to say 22 is Stan Coben. Like, it's just like an adjustment.
Well, you could be really old and you could think it's Mike Commodore or Sean Hill.
See,
you could just get really tainted by this.
You get stuck with number. Like, the next time if I see another 11 out there, I'm going to be thrown off for a long time. But I don't think I'll see another 11 out there. Just like we won't see a 12.
Well, Justin Williams was also 11, so he was when he won the cup in 11. So these are the things I battle. So the older you get, the harder this becomes. I will say just one last thing as we start the season. I want to say a sincere thanks to our fans. We have, in my opinion, the best fan base in hockey. To your point, loudest house. I don't see that changing. And it means so much to us and to the players of just the support we receive. The league tends to be in awe of our fan base. We skew more families, less corporate than a lot of buildings. I think it's why we're the loudest house. And I just can't say thanks enough because that support means the world to us. It makes it worthwhile. It makes us want to work through those hard days and those long hours and all those things, is when you come in and it's, especially now that it's 18,700 every night and it's loud, but it's just a fun place to be and the fans make it special.
Well, I'm not going to say anything else to ruin that great ending line. So thank you so much, Doug.
Thank you,
and
Thanks, Doug.
we'll talk to you guys next time on the SurgeCast.